Where's that Chris? He's late again.
No, dude, I'm thinking of firing him.
Man, probably lost his glasses. Should we check up on him?
Guys, I'm right here.
Oh.
Okay.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Chris,
I'm Keegan.
Hey, I'm Levi.
and today we watched Spinal Tap, or This is Spinal Tap.
Direct from hell, Spinal Tap.
A mockumentary about a band touring in the U.S. This one.
So when I was really little, I heard my parents talk about how they knew someone who had seen This is Spinal Tap and thought that it was a real band and liked the music so much and was like, man, I actually want to pick up all their albums and everything to listen to them. But then he found out it was a fake movie.
Wanker.
What a wank.
Wanker. No talent.
I very much feel like this movie it feels very authentic.
Yeah.
It's very well done in how it portrays the sort of mockumentary feel. And that's what I enjoyed about it, is that it's like, feels very much like a documentary about a band that you'd see on VH1 or MTV.
Sort of a behind the music kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it has all of the sort of the rock and roll tropes that you see in bands in like the 60s and 70s, even in the 80s. The, you know, the long hair, tight pants. It touches on a lot of like industry things too, especially in the 80s when like political correctness was starting to kind of like really come in.
I
And,
actually found that really interesting.
Yeah.
Specifically the the joke about how, because they're making a woman sort of the sexual object, it's bad, but if they were to be the sexual objects, being males, it would have been okay.
Well, you should have
Listen
seen
to
the
me.
cover they wanted to do.
I don't
It
care
wasn't
what
a
they
glove,
want.
believe me.
See, now,
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. And the band itself is sort of an amalgamation of different elements of different bands. Like there's pieces of like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, even like parts of like Kansas and like their music with like the synth and like the keyboard.
Yeah.
And the whole like trope of having to like cycle through drummers because the crazy random things just keep happening. Like I love, my favorite one is I think it's Stumpy Pete,
Something.
who was their first drummer, died in a bizarre gardening accident. It's like, you don't, what does that mean? And then Nigel saying like, yeah, the authorities even said like, just best leave it unsolved because, you know.
That probably got the biggest laugh out of me.
So yeah, like what you were saying, there's not really a consistent sound of the music, but it's all good and it's all like a springboard to make fun of actual bands. I think like kind of inspiration, and I thought it was the music. Kind of to go off your point is you could actually imagine these being real songs, like even though they're comedically crude and the lyrics, that's how real bands are a lot of times.
Yeah, it's very on the nose with like sexual references and
Yeah.
stuff.
So us two had seen the movie before, and for me it was several years ago. Again, it's been a while. But you haven't seen it.
Yeah, so this is my first time. It's always been like one that's been on my list, and it's always like suggested in my like YouTube feed, and so I was like, I've watched enough clips that I kind of had seen most of it, a lot of like the classic jokes that people keep repeating, but seeing it as a whole movie, it was fun, yeah.
one joke that always gets talked about is these go to 11.
Yeah, I saw that whole bit before I even saw
Yeah.
the movie.
Right, which is fine, but in my opinion, it's not even the funniest part of this movie. But for some reason, that was sort of the line or like the scene that people latched onto the most.
I think in a lot of movies and like media and stuff, it's the joke that like anyone can kind of like get.
I was about to say that because it's like there's a lot of jokes that seem like.
Because I feel like that gardening joke is like that's like a little too like weird and random, or like
Yeah, sort of a niche humor.
yeah, or like them trying to find their way to the stage, but they just keep going in circles.
Rock and roll! Rock and roll!
Let's get it! No, this way. Straight rock and roll! Rock and roll! There we go! Hello, Cleveland! Hello, Cleveland!
But I feel like that 11 joke is like very like, it's straightforward, it's well done, and everyone's gonna get it and think it's funny.
I also like the small details that they throw in, like when they're at a label party and they're talking about the album that they want to come out. You see Nigel and David's lips; they just have cold sores for no reason. Just because that's just what happens on the road. You're hooking up with chicks and whatever, and like, you get an outbreak on your mouth. But they don't explain it at all. There's no context. They just have these huge like purplish like blemishes on their lips, and you're just like, wait, what? I think my favorite part is Stonehenge.
It's a good song, yeah.
I mean, it's a great song. I love they're all in robes, and there's sort of the voiceover.
And oh, how they danced, the little children of Stonehenge, beneath the haunted moon, for fear that daybreak might come too soon.
I'm gonna pull a Levi here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, while I think the music was good,
Okay.
like it was all perfect and sort of like kind of being there, like kind of like spoofing the genre and all that. I don't know if any of the songs really like stood out to me.
Okay.
I thought they were, like I said, they're all good. I just like Levi said before in Cast and Dance, I don't know if I'll be like humming any of these or
I mean,
singing along or
yeah, a lot of them aren't that like catchy, except for give me some money.
yeah, give me some money.
Like
is
that one I
maybe
keep
the
singing.
closest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all good, and they all like are really good recreations of like that kind of genre and stuff. But like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know if any of them that really stood out to me.
That's nitpicking, isn't it?
I really like the keyboardist. I know he wasn't very much a big part of the whole band or whatever, but I think it's like one of the first songs, I can't remember. He just does something on the keyboard that makes me laugh. Hopefully Chris will put it into I'll tell him, and he'll put
Is it when
right.
he
Yeah, he goes like this, and it's hilarious musical, and I don't really know how to explain it, but
Well, because as a musician, like when you're in sort of the groove of the song,
yeah.
like there are movements that you do that just feel so natural, but out of the context of the vibe.
Yeah, so I used to play in a band, and so like some of those things were funny, just to like see people like I don't know, just like the face you make when you're playing guitar and stuff.
Oh yeah,
they're obviously spoofing that type of stuff, and like when you're really into a solo, and it's really funny.
Mm-hmm. They also have the whole classic Yoko sort of angle where David's girlfriend comes on the tour with them and starts trying to make changes, and sort of is getting in the ear of David, sort of wanting to push him in a certain direction, which is what people were saying that Yoko was doing with the Beatles.
Her home is on the south side, high up on the ridge, just a half a mile from the Mississippi.
Eventually, there's a split, and that's just a tale as old as time with bands.
Yeah, I think that section of the movie was where I was kind of like wanting more.
The third act definitely has less.
Well, it's almost like the whole second half of the movie when she shows up is where I was just kind of like, there could be more jokes here. I was kind of like uninterested in that whole, which I like from you explaining that part of it makes sense as to why they would make that a big part of the movie, but I don't know. I was kind of like, this is okay.
There were some good bits like at the end, even in the credits.
Yeah,
yeah.
the end credits, the end credits end at a very solid joke.
Yeah.
That we don't have to spoil.
Yeah, we'll leave it for them. It's a super fun movie. If you haven't seen it, I would say check it out.
It's kind of like the older generation's version of Pop Star, if you've seen Pop Star.
Right, yeah.
Maybe.
It's close to that in a sort of like Pop Star is goofing on music nowadays, whereas this one's goofing on movies in like the 70s and 80s and stuff. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
If you enjoy that sort of thing.
I did really like Billy Crystal's really quick cameo.
Yeah. Actually, honestly, that was like because I had seen this so many years ago. Mm-hmm. I just didn't realize that he was in it for such a short moment. But I'll take that as my favorite part. I love Billy Crystal.
Well, and I'm not too familiar with Billy Crystal's like real early acting works.
Right.
This was 1984 when this came out. I don't know how much he had actually done before then. This could have been one of the first things that he was doing.
Possibly. Rob Reiner and him have worked on a few different things, so he may have done something earlier with him.
Yeah.
Do the dead bird. Changes, get the dwarf cannolis, the little ones, okay?
All right, I did the bird.
Come on, don't talk back, huh? Mime is money. Let's go. Come on, move it.
So, ratings. What did you guys
I'll
think?
let this boy start.
Okay, yeah, so I was kind of like thinking as I was going, this is one that I have more of an opinion about. Like some of the other movies I was like, easily thumbs up or down or whatever. But this one, I'm kind of in between 1 to 2 thumbs up. So one thumb up, but a strong one. So I would say it's a strong 1 thumb.
All right, I don't know about you guys, but when I say middle thumb, that's still positive for me.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to go middle of the road, but like a higher middle of the road.
Like a 45 degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's closer to a thumbs up than a like less than. If I have to explain myself.
I'd say a big thumb up for me. It has so much of what I like. It gave me, sort of pretty much everything I wanted in sort of a mockumentary style movie. The comedy is great. The music is great. Just the little details are nice. It does sort of like slow down a little bit near like the 2/3 point or whatever. But it's still, nonetheless, it's a great movie. I love it. I will watch it again eventually.
And he'll probably sleep through a lot of it too.
That's getting cut.